Hi, I'm Emma Ketirai. I'm a certified Dubsado specialist. And in today's video, we're going to talk about collecting feedback and testimonials using Dubsado. The first element of doing this is using a form in Dubsado. I have an example here of a form. And basically, in this form, what you want to do is ask questions about their experience of working with you. You can ask them things like, what was it like before they worked with you? What is it like since working with you? And there are some examples here, like, why did you choose to work with us? What did you enjoy the most? What could we have done differently? What would you say to someone who's thinking about hiring us? Please provide a testimonial. So this is where you ask them for like a formal testimonial that you can use, on social media or on your website. Is there anything else you want us to know? So the important thing about this feedback form is you're asking them questions to kind of help them remember what it was like before and what it's like now and how you help them, right? Because just asking for a testimonial, like I know personally it feels a little like I don't know what to say. So asking kind of these questions before jumping into a testimonial kind of helps them remember, what it was like before working with you. The other thing that you want to do on this form is just make it easier for your clients to provide external reviews. I'm a big fan of Google reviews. What I do, this is very much like the form that I send to my clients, is I ask them to provide a Google review. And if they do want to, they can simply copy what they've written in here and paste it into Google review. This button has a link to my review page. If you don't have a Google business page, I highly recommend that you create one. I know depending on your niche, you might have other sites that you use like the Knot and others. I know those are popular in the wedding industry, but it helps to have a Google review or a Google business page because ultimately people are going to Google you before they decide to work with you. So for them to see those reviews there kind of, helps them feel more at ease before even talking to you or before hiring you. So there are some other questions that I have here in this form, and these come from my experience. So I'm a massive introvert. So even asking for reviews used to be difficult for me. Then once I used this form and I automated the whole thing with Dubsado, it's made it so much easier for me. And I've collected so many more testimonials and Google reviews with this process. But one thing that I wasn't doing was asking if I could share those. And I know that a lot of people have this in their contract, but I still feel like I should ask before I put their reviews or share anything about what I've done for them on social media. So this is a great way to just ask for that permission. Can we use your review for marketing material? And then additionally, can I tag you on social media? And if yes, please provide the handle. So if it's Instagram, you can say, can we tag you on Instagram? And then you ask them for their Instagram handle. And then finally, if you wanted to include headshots, that helps a lot, I think, especially when you share on things like Instagram. Can we include your headshot? And then if yes, they simply just upload a file here. So this makes it a lot easier for your clients and it increases the number of testimonials and reviews that you will receive in your business. This has been my experience. Like I don't have the exact numbers, but the numbers of reviews that I've received since using this and Google reviews that I've received since using this have skyrocketed in my business. So now the other part of using Dubsado for your testimonials is to be able to automate it so that it's off your plate. So you don't have to remember to send out the forms and ask for reviews. It's just done automatically. So how you do that is with workflows. So this is a very simple workflow that asks people for testimonials. You can trigger this off of a previous workflow. So let's say if you have like a delivery workflow that ends on the project end date, let's say. So in the wedding industry, this would be super simple. Your project end date is like the end of the event, the end of the wedding, the end of the session. And then you could start this workflow automatically after that end date, like after you reach that end date. In other industries, you may have to trigger this workflow manually. It just all depends on a lot of different factors of your service. If you have an end date and, are there other things that could trigger starting this workflow automatically? But once you start the workflow, the first thing that you do, it's changing the project status to like offboarding. Then the other thing that I do, and this is completely up to you, is ask, do you want to send this person a testimonial? I do this for some of my clients. Some of my clients want to make sure that they are able to decide whether to send this form out to someone or not. They've had some, experiences in the past, and I totally understand that. So they want to make sure that they get to decide who gets this form and who does not. So they will receive an email that says, do you want to send a testimonial to Amy? And then if yes, they check off the to-do in the workflow, and then it triggers the rest of these actions. So the first action is to send your client that feedback form that we were looking at before. So you send it to them. And then the next action is, if they have not completed the form in 5 days, send them the form again. So this might be a new action for some of you. So basically it's send form after form is not completed. So what form are you looking at? Which form are you looking at to not be completed is the client feedback form, right? So then it's like, okay, so I do need to send a form after this form is not completed. Which form should I send? You're going to send the same form again. I know this is kind of weird. This is how it works. And you can determine how many days. Do you want to wait 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, or more? And then you just have to make sure that the email that you send out has this smart field in it that will be replaced with a button to the form. And then what you can also do is send a thank you email once the form is complete. So send email after form is completed. And what form are you looking at? That same client feedback form. And then you just send them an email. Obviously, you can change up the email. You can add offers for clients once they're done working with you. If you have other things that you want to offer them, like photographers sometimes offer albums, things like that, you can add all of that to the thank you email. And obviously, you can add a lot more detail, a lot more steps to this workflow. You can check in with them every so often. It's completely up to you, but these are the steps to send the form, remind them of the form, and thank them for filling out the form. One more thing that I want to add is you want to ask for feedback in a timely manner. You want to ask for feedback while they are still on a high, so to speak, from working with you. While they're super happy, they're so, ecstatic after whatever it is that you've done for them, photos, events, copywriting, bookkeeping, whatever that is, you want to ask for it sooner rather than later. Because if you wait for that feeling to kind of fizzle out, you're not going to get as many reviews, and maybe you're not going to get as great reviews. So you want to send it in a timely manner. Don't wait too long. Okay. And then same with a reminder. You don't want to wait too many days. You don't want to wait like 30 days before sending them a reminder. You want to send it in a span of a few days. Obviously, this depends on your niche. It depends on so many factors. But I find that the sooner you ask for the testimonial, the sooner you remind them to provide a testimonial, the higher the odds are that you'll get a really good testimonial. So this is it. This is everything that you need to know to start gathering testimonials using Dubsado. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.